Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Player Zone YouTube channel. Welcome to our Portugal and France game recap. A game that, let's just be honest, it was a little bit boring. No goals to talk about. France got it done yet again, though. They just find a way to grind out results where they don't feel like necessarily in games. They find a way back into games. Maybe they don't deserve the win. They get the win. In this occasion here, just take it to penalties, win the penalty shootout. No one played incredibly remarkable for France. To be honest, neither for Portugal. But I think they prefer those type of games. But it gets a bit scrappy. It gets a bit ugly. That's where Didier Deschamps and his side does their best work. We'll see about the play-by-plays. A lot of chances, but real half chance. I think ended up within 20 shots of the French, but nothing really of direct danger for the Portuguese side. And Portugal had some chances of their own, but again, nothing that really threatened Mike Maignan too much. It was a game really that was destined for extra time and then destined for penalties. And I think France were happy with that. They knew they could do it and they knew they could win that way in their style of football. I'll take you through some of the key moments. First 5-10 minutes, Portugal were fantastic. Rafa Leão performing at a high level, and he would be very, very pivotal to spread the game for Portugal. And got them on the front foot early. The first 20 minutes was all Portugal, capped off by Bruno Fernandes, who went very close in the 16th minute, driving from a deep midfield role into some space. And his shot was just deflected by William Saliba's shoulder to take it wide, and as such, not threatened Mike Maignan. But that was the first real warning shot for the French, who were a bit slower starters. Rafa Leão was having his way in the left. Bruno Fernandes getting into dangerous spots. They're doing it without Vitinha. Vitinha really didn't contribute much to the game at all, but the start of the game was very, very quiet and didn't really get a full hold on the game. So it was Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Rafa Leão, all involved in that front line, and we're all firing at a very high level, and they're probably, looking back at it, unhappy they didn't make the most of all that pressure there and actually put a goal into the back of the net. From there on in, France had built back into the game. It was a long shot by Teo Hernandez. Mbappe went down the left-hand channel as well, and both were palmed away quite easily by Diogo Costa. So no real threat to the Portuguese goal there. And outside, I guess, the odd counter-attack and a bit of poor build-up play between Griezmann and Conte and Mbappe. The French had nothing for them going forward, especially in that first half. It was very timid, very lacking creativity and willingness to drive forward. It was Vitinha on a free kick, and on the 42nd minute, Bruno Fernandes took a free kick this time, not Cristiano Ronaldo, but Bruno's effort headed over the crossbar, and that would basically be that in the first half. It was pretty well summarised that there was no stoppage time added in the first half. It was quite dead, quite boring. Portugal had the majority of the chance in the first 15-20 minutes. France sort of came back towards the half-hour mark, and then Portugal finished off quite strongly, but it was pretty clear to see Portugal had the ball. They were happy to have the ball, likes of Bruno, Bernardo Silva, Vitinha, Palhinha, very well in the midfield areas. And France wanted to counter-attack. They wanted to get Mbappe in behind. The problem being, like I said there was a lack of real connection in the final third. They tried to play this two-striker formation with Kolo Muani and Kylian Mbappe, but it didn't quite work. There was a lack of, I think he even said in the middle of the week, there's no Paul Pogba now. Mbappe said in the week, they can't just make these runs in behind because no one can find him. And I felt like this game as well, that connection, continuity, skill, just meant there was a real disconnect there between midfield and forward areas, and Mbappe was struggling to get in behind and counter-attack like we know he can do. So a lot to improve in the second half of France, but it was Portugal once again. He made the great of the two stars. Rafa Leão made a powerful run down the left-hand channel, and he went very close. However, Camavinga came in to nick the ball off his left foot before he had a chance to shoot on goal. Then the big chance came, for me, probably one of the biggest chances of the regulation time. Bruno Fernandes slipped through by João Cancelo. A massive opportunity through on goal. Took the shot a little too early for my liking, but stung the gloves of Mike Maignan. And in the second phase, it actually fell back out to João Cancelo, whose shot went wide of the goal. But two chances in the space of a few seconds there in the 61st minute. And it could have been massive if Portugal hit the 1-0 lead there. Momentum they carry into the back of the game. They can hold on, they can defend that lead. France has really struggled to that point to really create anything of real meaning. They were still great in the odd chance, but they hadn't been at their attacking best. Most of their great attacking work came in the late parts of regulation time and extra time as well. So to that point, a massive chance missed by both Cancelo and Bruno Fernandes, and something they'd come back to rue. Vitinha also was denied probably the second best chance of the game. Rafa Leão once again down that left-hand channel, pulls the ball back. First time effort on goal by Vitinha. Stung the gloves of Mike Maignan yet again, but straight at him. Couldn't put it either side of the goalkeeper. Another missed opportunity for Portugal around that hour mark. Ronaldo also having a backheel attempt in the second phase of that chance as well, but Maignan was there once again to deny that chance. So chances galore for Portugal around the hour mark. none were taken as such. It really came back to hurt them. Colomboani had the first real chance for France on the counter-attack. Broke in behind, was through on goal, but Ruben Dias was in the way to make a challenge and deflect that ball wide and off target. It was Camavinga next to the big opportunity after some great Ousmane Dembele creativity on the right. However, Camavinga put his effort wide of the goal. A real lack of clinical edge in the final third was a key theme here around the hour mark. Dembele, since coming on the 67th minute, I'm not talking about him, he was fantastic. This time, Antoine Griezmann had the poor game, Dembele had the good game. They just can't have both having a good game at once at this current point in time. But he came on and made a direct impact, nearly scored quite quickly since coming on, cutting into the left-hand side, using his left-footed shot, nearly curling the ball into the top left corner. However, that one just went wide of the goal, and Mbappe had a tame effort on goal at the end of regulation time, which was quite easily saved by Diogo Costa. And that was the end of regulation time, still 0-0, still with mass opportunities. Portugal probably owning the first hour of the game. The back 30 was in the French favour as Portugal throwing numbers forward. They were getting exposed in the counter-attack, and France came closer and even closer after that. However, in extra time, once again, Portugal would get the better of the chances. Cristiano Ronaldo had an effort in the 93rd minute, cut back by Conceição, just couldn't get it under control. A little bit behind him, he put his effort well and truly over the crossbar. João Felix snuck into the back post and headed into the side netting in the 108th minute. Once again, Francisco Conceição setting up that ball, and then probably the chance of extra time. One of the last kicks of the game, ball fell out to Nuno Mendes after a fantastic Portuguese build-up, but his effort, it could have felt to anyone. It felt to Nuno Mendes, and his shot was tame and straight out. Mike Magnon, and in the end, we would go to penalties. And I think I made the most there of a really uneventful game, but that was basically the play-by-play. In the penalty shootout, everyone had scored. We got to João Felix, the third penalty kicker take for Portugal. He put his effort wide, hitting the upright and coming back out. And then from there on in, some fantastic Jules Koundé penalties. I think in the end, Theo Hernandez scored the winner. That France won 5-3 in the penalty shootout and now secure their spot into the semi-finals to face the mighty Spain. Looking at the game, as I said, it's a bit of a glorified ball fest. There was chance at either end, but were they taken? Well, really, really not. It was, marketed as the Mbappe versus Ronaldo. Both struggled. Mbappe obviously worried about his head injury now. He got a knock on the head again and had to sit out the second half of extra time as well. Can you turn it around that quickly for a head injury? I'm not sure what they'll do with him, but since putting on the mask, he's really struggled. I think it's the Mbappe of old. Yes, the running is there, the pace is there, the raw talent is there, but the finishing in front of goal, the passing display, the connection, I said, with the midfield is just not there right now. And he looks like a guy that's just asking for some help, someone to provide some width, whether it be Ousmane Dembele, someone who can link the game up like a Antoine Griezmann or Adrien Rabiot. He's just lacking supply, and when he has the opportunity, he's not really finding the back of the net or making the most of it. So he's a guy out of touch. Ronaldo, obviously, no. The whole story about that. Yet again, though, I love the guy. Cristiano Ronaldo is my GOAT. This game here, though, it needed a spark. Conceição comes on and brings a spark. You need Diogo Jota. Bruno Fernandes gets pulled off. Probably for me, one of the best creators for Portugal in that game. But because you can't take off Cristiano Ronaldo, and he's played now 120 minutes, you just get short-handed. He doesn't defend for you. Didn't look like scoring in this game here. Rafael looked like the most likely to score a goal. Bruno Fernandes looked like the most likely to set something up. And in the end, you miss both of them because you keep Cristiano Ronaldo on. I'm just not sure I'm happy with how that all worked out. So, yes, it's his last Euros game. Yes, he's a great player, but I needed something different. A Diogo Jota or João Felix down the middle or something like that. I know João Felix ends up being a bit of the villain in the end, missing the penalty, but I needed something different. I guess quick touching on Ronaldo and Pepe. Pepe emotional, obviously Ronaldo emotional at full time, but Pepe, one of the great performers of the season so far at the Euros. A guy of 41 years of age, slow on pace. He had Colomboani, Kylian Mbappe, Bradley Barcola all to deal with. Did fantastically well. There's one time I think Colomboani goes through on goal. Pepe comes back and makes the challenge and sends it behind for a corner kick. This guy's 41 years old. No chance he'd be keeping up with Colomboani, but he does that, and the effort intensity. Didn't make a mistake this whole tournament. I guess outside that little shaky moment versus Slovakia in the last in the round of 16. He's been fantastic. Ronaldo, subpar point, let's be honest. A really poor performance of Cristiano Ronaldo in this tournament. He's just catching up with him. Does he go for the World Cup? Looks likely, but he has to be a squad player. He has to be someone who comes on in the 85th, 80th minute to try and make a change late in the game. Use his stardom for short 10-minute bursts, because the fact he's played now 2 back-to-back 120-minute games didn't look likely in either. I think it's a sign it was just not the right move from Roberto Martinez, who's come in and now, in many regards, wasted the Belgium dynasty and most of the Portuguese dynasty as well with their golden generations. He has failed to achieve anything with both sides. I think Portugal will be kicking themselves in this game. They had all the opportunities. They looked more likely to go and score the goal. Yes, they left themselves vulnerable to French counterattacks later in the game, but they were the team bossing that game. And I think they look back at this opportunity and think it's a massive chance miss because, again, you win against France. I said it in my prediction, but if you win against France, you go to the next round with the confidence. Yes, you're playing the best team in the tournament in Spain, but if you come off a win like this versus France, whether it be a late winner or win penalties again, you get that camaraderie, you get that confidence in that win, and you can go on and maybe make a real fist of things. But I think they just missed their opportunity. Bruno Fernandes, massive chance missed. João Cancelo, João Felix, massive chances missed. Cristiano Ronaldo not making enough of his attacking threat in the final third. I just think Portugal could have done so much more with this tournament. They came in dominating teams, smashing teams in qualifiers, in the pre-friendlies as well, dominating teams. We didn't see anything like that in the tournament. It was more back to that pragmatic style of football from Portugal. So really disappointing all in all. But the French do it again. I've got to be honest. They did the Champs. I don't know how he's done it. They've scored now 1 goal themselves, and it was from the penalty spot. Yet to score from open play. 2 own goals and a penalty is the only goals they've scored, and they're into a Euros semi-final. It's just the way they set themselves up. That midfield 3 lacks a lot of creativity, but it's so robust defensively. It breaks the game up. All that is missing this French side to get Mbappe scoring and the team scoring is someone who can actually play a pass to him. Like, this team is calling out for a Paul Pogba. I keep bringing it up because Mbappe brought it out during the week. You need someone with some sort of creativity in midfield. I think Bradley Barcola has to start, and I think you should have invert him a little bit, create him in more of a central area. He can free Mbappe, because right now Mbappe does not get delivery, the serve that he needs, and as such, I've seen this French team struggle. But when you've got the defence like they've got, I guess you don't have to worry about scoring goals because you're just going to grind out results. And if you can keep scoring penalties, you can win 3 penalties. That's the way that it looks like they're going to win this tournament. It's been far from great. I think they deserve equal criticism that England deserve. But obviously the media won't do that because they had to choose to did it the Champs. But it's been really hard to watch. They're really boring, but they get the job done, so I can't complain with that. Let's go to our 3 key players of the game, starting with Jules Koundé. Once again, another fantastic performance at the back. 8.0 match rating, the 4 clearances, 5 tackles. Only was dribble past twice, considering how good Rafa Leao was in this game. That was a really interesting stat for me. 6 out of 9 ground duels won, not losing an area duel as well. Really, really consistent. Him and Theo Hernandez on the flanks have not put a foot wrong so far this tournament. Theo Hernandez probably had the better of the first 3 games. The last 2 games have to go to Jules Koundé at the back. He's been fantastic. And when you pair them up, and then you've got the 2 centre-halves of William Saliba and also Upamecano, no one is making a mistake back there. They're rock salt at the back. They don't concede many chances. They put their body in the way of a lot of shots as well. That was a key thing I saw in this game here, where Bruno Fernandes or Bernardo Silva were taking shots, or Vitinha was trying to come into the box for late runs. Who was in the way a lot of the time? It was all the Salibas, the Theo Hernandez, the Jules Koundés, always blocking off shots. And then when it was eventually towards goal, Mike Maignan was in the way. He was my second important player. Another 8.0 match rating, 4 saves, all of them inside the box, preventing 1.18 goals, 43 touches, 89% pass accuracy, 3 out of 6 accurate long balls. Got them going attacking wise instead of claiming the ball and getting them released quickly. Come to the ball at his feet. Made some really big saves in this game. That Vitinha chance massive. Bruno Fernandes chance massive. Yes, they were very central, but he made the saves nonetheless. Didn't make a save in the penalty shootout, but in the end was pivotal, I guess, in that regard as well. A really, really quality performance of Mike Maignan. Just goes to show his quality yet again. Nothing remarkable, but really, really A-, A-type performance. Been really, really solid through this game. And my player of the match was someone who came on just after the hour mark. Ousmane Dembele changed the game. 8.2 match rating, 6 out of 8 successful dribbles, hit the woodwork, 39 touches, 6 key passes, 17 out of 19 successful passes, 7 out of 10 ground duels. It begs the question, can Griezmann and also Ousmane Dembele work in the same team? Because if you get both of them playing the way they can both play, it seems like they go 1 for 1. One game you perform good, one game I'll perform good. Get them both performing well at the same time. This Mbappe supply problem and chance creation problem has disappeared. But right now, Ousmane Dembele has gone from dropping one of the worst stinkers over the last 2 games to producing a great performance here. Then Antoine Griezmann produced a fantastic performance 2 games ago, and ever since it's been pathetic. So, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know who they pick. But when Ousmane Dembele's at this sort of level, this is the Ousmane Dembele that we're excited about. This is the Ousmane Dembele that beat Barcelona with that direct running, that willingness to keep driving at defenders. We didn't see that last few games. He was passive and not wanting to take the game on. This game he's dinking inside, going back outside, going down the bar line. It was really, really exciting to see. And the big stuff made 6 key passes in, 40 minutes of football? Just fabulous. Like it's a difference maker that we haven't seen from Ousmane Dembele this tournament. It was a direct running. He was willing to pass and make the right pass, set the ball up, create shots for himself, create shots for others. It was quite really, really impressive. So despite the lack of game time, it was really, really good. Maybe he suits coming off the bench, so use his pace whilst other players are flat and fatigued. Maybe that's when he operates at his best. But this is an Ousmane Dembele I've not seen so far this tournament. This is an Ousmane Dembele that can change the outlook for France in this tournament here, especially against a Spain side that we know is so defensively and also can score goals as well. They're going to have to find a way to score goals, France. I don't think they can keep the Spanish out for 120 minutes, 90 minutes, whatever it may be. They're going to need goals, and it might have to come from Ousmane Dembele setting it up for the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Olivier Giroud, whoever plays up top in the next game there. That brings me obviously to the final point. Obviously the next game, the semi-final versus Spain. They've got here through just ugly football, but they're going against the best team in the tournament, and the best team in the tournament by a very long way in my regard. They don't concede many chances, they score a lot of chances. It's the ultimate formula for victory. They're going to need a fabulous performance from someone in midfield. Adrien Rabiot probably comes straight back in alongside Tchouaméni and N'Golo Conte. It's so defensive. It is so robust, defensive. It works one way for me. Who's going to be that player to drive them forward? Does Kylian Mbappe start? Is this head injury dangerous for him? Does Olivier Giroud start? Like, do you get more of a focal number 9 and you try and get balls in from wide areas? I'm still begging for Bradley Barcola to start a game of football. I think he could really change the game. A young player with a bit of flair, a bit of willingness to run, more consistent as Ousmane Dembele for me. I'd go him from the start. If Mbappe's obviously play Mbappe, do they go back to this sort of 2 focal strikers up top? I don't know how that works. Clement, he struggled yet again. It's seen Thuram struggle as well since the opening match day. There's a lot of questions for Didier Deschamps to answer, and I think it's really harsh to judge these players because the supply up top and the creativity up top has just been null and void. I think the biggest thing you have to do is bench Antoine Griezmann. Really, really poor this tournament. Does Dembele come in? I think you have to put him in after the performance last night. And I think they're just going to find a way to score at least 1 or 2 goals. Spain will score a goal. If you want to go to extra time penalties, maybe you can only score 1. But if you want to win the game, you have to score 2 goals. I think there's no other way to go about that. Your defense is amazing, but you can't keep out Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal. I think Hossley will probably start for them with Morata missing. You got the likes of Fabian Ruiz in midfield, Rodri creating. There's so many talented players. And obviously, Marc Cucurella's been fantastic from fullback as well. It's going to be a really, really challenging game for this French side to deal with. Do they have what it takes? So 100%. They have been in these tournaments now. They've gone to multiple World Cup finals. They've won a Euros. So they've gone to a finals of the Euros. They know what it takes. It's if they can produce some attacking output to match the Spanish output themselves. That's going to be the big question, because defensively they can match up perfectly fine. They're probably better than the Spanish defensively, but can they actually produce something in the final third? That's a big question we have to wonder. With that being said, though, they got over the line again. 5-3 in penalties. They got the job done. That's the key thing for France right now. Keep getting the job done and keep progressing in this tournament. Far from convincing, but we've come to get used to that now with the French side. With that being said, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash a like on it, subscribe to the Players Zone channel for more videos like these, and press that post notification bell so you know we upload videos and podcasts here on the channel. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the upcoming quarterfinals and then semi-final action here from the Euros. And I'll see you guys in the video very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.